Assalamualaikum. Welcome to the Sea Level Agenda, the podcast where we talk about management issues and subjects which are relevant to leaders and organizations. Today, something a bit different. As you all know, at Open Minds Consulting, we believe entrepreneurs solve society's problems, and therefore we're very excited and happy to meet them, particularly if these entrepreneurs happen to be women, because women, unfortunately, don't usually take this direction in our country. So, we have today with us, and we're delighted to have today with us, the mother-daughter team behind the successful Pakistani chocolate brand Lal's. Mrs. Lal Majid
Aslan.
and Madhia Sultan. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You know, I'm so looking forward to this conversation because I'm just so intrigued. I have heard so much about it. In fact, so much about Pakistani chocolates thanks to Lal's, because to me, growing up, otherwise, chocolate was Belgian or Swiss, not Pakistani. So, but let's start at the beginning. How did this business come to be? What is your story? What is the background? And, tell us everything about yourself.
अच्छा अस्सलाम वालेकुम, मैं लाल माजिद। आसिफ ऐसा है कि मैं पेशावर में पैदा हुई। माशाल्लाह हम 8 बहन भाई हैं और सब माशाल्लाह ऑल आर वेल स्टैब्लिश्ड और हाईली क्वालिफाइड। बट जब मैं पढ़ रही थी तो फिर मैट्रिक के बाद मेरे पेरेंट्स को लगा कि मेरा इतना इंटरेस्ट नहीं है, जो भी रीजंस थे, सो उन्होंने मेरी शादी कर दी फर्स्ट ईयर के बाद। सो आई केम टू कराची। फिर बच्चे बड़े हो रहे थे, सब उस चीज़ों में लगे रहे कि कहाँ स्कूल जाना है। बट आई वॉज़ वेरी, बिकॉज जब कोई चीज़ इंसान खुद नहीं कर पाता तो चाहता है उनके बच्चे बेस्ट एजुकेशन हासिल करें। तो पहली चीज़ जो मैंने कराची में देखा कि भाई कौन सा बेस्ट स्कूल है और कैसे मैंने अपने बच्चों को वहाँ डालना है। सो उसके अंदर मैं लग गई और करते। बट ये है कि मुझे बहुत दफ़ा एहसास हुआ कि मैंने कोई चीज़ है जो आई वॉन्ट टू डू। बट जो भी मेरी लर्निंग डिफ़िकल्टीज़ थी उनके साथ मैंने उनको ओवरकम किया एंड आई स्टार्टेड एज अ फ्लोरिस्ट। मैं बाहर गई और मैंने वहाँ कोर्सेज़ किए। अच्छा, जो भी काम किया मैंने पहले उनको लर्न किया, कोर्सेज़ किए। सो आई वेंट टू मतलब ट्रेंड फ्लोरिस्ट।
That was your first business?
That's the first
Oh,
business
wow.
as a
I didn't know
florist.
that. Okay.
Yes. और उस ज़माने में सिर्फ जो शादियाँ होती थी तो सिर्फ स्टेज बनते थे, तो आई स्टार्टेड
Right.
डूइंग ऑल द इवेंट्स एंड अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह डिड वेरी वेल। फिर उसी के अंदर दिमाग में आया कि वी शुड डू समथिंग विद चॉकलेट, गिफ्ट रैपिंग और ये सब चीज़। सो मदिया उस वक्त ग्रेजुएट हो रही थी, फाइनल
एंड ऑल्सो ये भी था ना कि लोग बाहर से चॉकलेट लेके आ जाते थे कि ये किट कैट, ये हम दुबई एयरपोर्ट से थोक के, मतलब दे वुड ब्रिंग अ लॉट ऑफ चॉकलेट एंड से कि जी अच्छी तरह हमें आप पैक कर दें, हमें निकाह की फेवर्स देनी है या मंगनी की अनाउंसमेंट करनी है, तो उससे आपको
मुझे लगा कि वी शुड डू दिस। एंड उस वक्त मेरा बेटा भी पढ़कर आया हुआ था तो उन्होंने भी मुझे हेल्प किया। जैसे आजकल आपको पता है यंग लोगों के पास ज़्यादा आइडियाज़ होते हैं। मदिया का लास्ट ईयर था ग्रेजुएट होने में। सो वी डिड रिसर्च, वी लर्न सो मच अबाउट के ये। फिर हमने अपना ब्रांड, ये जो चॉकलेट है उसको लॉन्च किया। उस वक्त तो ब्रांड नहीं था, उस वक्त तो लास्ट चॉकलेट था। बट ये है कि फिर वी वर्क वेरी हार्ड। ऑफ कोर्स मदिया ने भी साथ ही उस वक्त आ गई थी कराची एंड वहाँ से फिर हमारी
पहले आपने ये भी सोचा था ना कि मैं गोडाइवा की फ्रेंचाइज ले लूं, लाइक देयर वाज सम थॉट प्रोसेस।
गोडाइवा बहुत कुछ था, मैंने कहा शायद शॉर्ट टाइम है तो बहुत सारी
चीजें
थी। उस वक्त की बात है कि आई रिमेंबर कि मैं जब ये रिसर्च कर रही थी तो पाची को 25 इयर्स हुए थे और गोडाइवा उस वक्त वो दूसरे उसके साथ मर्ज होने वाला था ब्रांड। और आई वॉज थिंकिंग कि क्या कभी ऐसा हो सकता है कि मैं यहाँ पर आ जाऊँ, कभी मैंने नहीं सोचा था। बट आज मैं इस बात पे बहुत फख्र से कहती हूँ कि मैं उनसे बेहतर कर सकती हूँ और कर रही हूँ। अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह।
And was this a shift from the florist, the flower shop to the chocolate business, या दोनों पैरेलल में चल रहे थे?
नहीं, शुरू में हमने उसको पैरेलल किया, बट देन आई रियलाइज कि जो फ्लोरिस्ट्री है उसमें और चॉकलेट को साथ नहीं रख सकते, बिकॉज फूलों के अंदर छोटे छोटे कीड़े होते हैं जो कि मुझे अपनी चॉकलेट को बहुत अच्छे से प्रोटेक्ट करना था उसी में। और फिर फ्लोरिस्ट्री में बहुत टाइम कंज्यूमिंग है, चॉकलेट भी टाइम कंज्यूमिंग है, तो फिर मैंने इसको चूज़ किया और उसको मैंने छोड़ दिया। उस वक्त तक फ्लोरिस्ट और भी बहुत आ गए थे करने वाले काम। सो मैं अपने चॉकलेट को मैंने दिया, बट
And it was also that the wedding business, doing stages, was very taxing. It's late night things. You stand all day in the heat and you're setting up people's stages. And I felt that by then you were ready, okay, I need something more consistent and not just event based.
Right, and there was no shop, there was no flower
No,
shop.
we had shop at Zamzama,
Oh, okay.
जिसमें फ्लावर्स भी थे और क्या नाम है चॉकलेट भी थी, बट देन फ्लावर्स हमने अपने कोल्ड रूम से हटा दिया एंड स्टॉप वर्किंग एज अ फ्लोरिस्ट्री. पहले मैं जाके लोगों के जो होटल्स की अरेंजमेंट्स थी वो भी मैं क्या करती थी, हमारी कंपनी, और मेरे पास ऑफिस था, स्टार्टेड एज अ ऑफिस से काम शुरू किया था. शॉप चॉकलेट की जमजमा में स्टेप 2 था.
Right.
फिर वहाँ से बिकॉज मैं आई वॉज ऑलवेज इंटरेस्टेड इन पेस्ट्री एंड आई रियलाइज कि चॉकलेट करने के लिए मुझे पहले पेस्ट्री पे अबूर हासिल करना है. सो आई वेंट टू कलनरी स्कूल एंड वहाँ से मैंने पेस्ट्री और ये किया एंड आई स्टार्टेड मेकिंग और फ्री फ्रेंड्स को बांट रही हूँ, कर रही हूँ. फिर मदिया ने कहा कि अच्छा अगर करना ही है तो लेट्स ओपन अप.
This was here, Pakistan में?
या
Culinary school?
पाकिस्तान. नो, कलनरी स्कूल इन दुबई.
अच्छा, you went to Dubai for training.
फॉर माई ट्रेनिंग.
Oh.
अच्छा, वो 4-year कोर्स था, उन्होंने मुझे वो 4 months में कराया, बट तोड़ के, बिकॉज दे न्यू कि आई हैड अ बिजनेस इन पाकिस्तान, तो दे वर वेरी काइंड टू मी कि उन्होंने देखा इतनी पैशनेट औरत है जो मतलब एक्स्ट्रा आवर्स वर्क कर रही है, तो उन्होंने कहा ठीक है, विल डू दिस फॉर यू, कि हम आपको इसको तोड़ के 4 हिस्सों में कर देते हैं.
ये कितनी देर की थी ट्रेनिंग?
ये हर महीने 6 महीने बाद 1 महीने की.
वाओ वाओ.
सो आई डिड दैट एंड उसके बाद फिर हमने शाबाज पे पटिसरी खोली. उसी दौरान वी स्टार्टेड थिंकिंग अबाउट मेकिंग आवर ओन जेलाटो. उस वक्त जेलाटो पाकिस्तान में नहीं थी. सो आई वेंट टू इटली फॉर माई ट्रेनिंग एंड बाइंग द मशीन्स. सो फिर
You had another training in Italy?
She's obsessed with trading and learning.
Wow, but this is fantastic.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. और इटली में किस चीज़ की ट्रेनिंग?
जेलाटो.
In Italy, mein also you did chocolate
Yes,
training.
वो अलग है.
Yeah.
वो उसके बाद का है. Sex time.
Okay.
Second time I went for chocolate training. Then फिर I went to New York. 2 दफ़ा I had to go there for a month. तो मैंने उसमें वहाँ पर भी ब्रेड में और चॉकलेट में, पेस्ट्री में.
I mean,
best
New York,
things.
it was wild because I was having a baby, and in fact, I'd had my daughter by the time she arrived. She arrived a week before I was due, and so she was the night nanny, right? Because we didn't have a night nanny in New York. She was a night nanny, and then by day she would go for her course. So all night she would help us with the newborn, and by help us I mean the newborn was basically with her because we also needed some sleep. And then in the morning, she would wake up at 8 in the morning, and I think you took the subway to
Seven
you took the
o'clock,
subway
I
to
was in
Brooklyn.
the class.
Or you took a taxi. I don't know how she got there.
Oh, wow.
Subway.
She went to Brooklyn. We were in Manhattan, and then she would get to Brooklyn to the Valrhona Institute, and then spend the whole day there doing this chocolate making
God.
intensive course. And I'd say, how do you do it? And she said, वहाँ तो एक 75 साल की भी औरत थी, वो तो मुझसे इतनी बूढ़ी है, वो भी पूरा दिन खड़ी रहती थी, तो वैसा ही है, मैं भी कर रही हूँ. Okay,
I don't think लेकिन कि वो बच्चे आपको नर्स कर रहे थे.
नहीं, बट आई टेल यू समथिंग, मुझे उस औरत से बहुत एनर्जी मिली सीरियसली. कि हमें तो फिर भी मैं नमाज के लिए जाती थी तो 10-15 मिनट बैठ. अच्छा, मैं ये जितने भी इंस्टीट्यूट्स हैं बाहर में, कहीं भी एक स्टूल भी नहीं देते बैठने के लिए स्टूडेंट को. पूरा दिन यू आर ऑन योर टोज. कोई बैठने
In a sort of a kitchen environment.
और हाँ, बड़ी जगह है, बट देयर इज नो स्टूल, नथिंग टू सिट. तो मेरे पास तो बहाना, नमाज के लिए गए
वो नहीं रोक सकते.
थोड़ी देर बैठ सकते हैं.
Right.
सिर्फ लंच ब्रेक में वी कैन सिट, दैट्स ऑल. सो जब मैं उसको देखती, मैं कहती कि ये कर सकती है तो मेरे में क्या प्रॉब्लम है. और वो फिर भाग भाग के स्टेशन भी जाती है, उसके पीछे पीछे भागती है.
Wow.
So it was very
Amazing.
interesting.
Amazing.
Then we started our Shabaz, और शाबाज के बाद फिर
No, wait, explain that. Like, as in, basically, when we started out in 2007, we had one chocolate shop in Zamzama. So she had this thing, okay, I've been doing this event planning business. I want my own retail location, जहाँ से मैं अपने फूल भी बेच सकूँ, और because the event planning business was out of an office, right? So she wanted, again, Zamzama was really an up-and-coming retail area at the time. So let me have a nice little shop where I can sell some chocolates and flowers, and people can come consult with me about events. That's around when I graduated and came back, and I knew absolutely nothing about chocolate. She had still done some research, but now we think back to how little we knew, and it was actually just a leap of faith that she took. कि I'll open this shop and I will figure the rest out along the way. I remember opening पे Vamik Zuberi, my friend's father asked me कि बेटा ये white chocolate और milk chocolate में क्या फर्क है? I had no clue. And I was so embarrassed, and I was just like, okay, let me, and then I went to England, and this Barry Callebaut is a supplier of ours, they make chocolate, they have an institute there, and I did a full course and really got some in-depth knowledge, so that, okay, now I can answer some questions. And we did, the Zamzama outlet was our sole focus for a few years, and we realized, okay, this chocolate, and then she said, I don't want to do the flowers anymore, they don't connect that well with chocolate, and within one small location. So we said, okay, how do we expand this business? Because chocolate is a very niche market here. This was, all 15, 16 years ago. And so we thought, okay, who are our customers and what more do they want from us, right? What else are they looking for? How can we be a bigger part of their lives? And because she was really into baking and making cookies and macaroons and cakes, we said, okay, it makes sense to expand chocolate and pastry. And then we found this massive retail location at Shabazz, which my brother was like, oh, this is a great location, take it. And we were like, yeah, this is a huge space, like we are coming from 400 square feet, this is like 4,000 square feet. And we kind of just made this leap, okay, you know what? And everyone's like, oh, if you're having a pastry shop, cafe bhi kholo, khana bhi serve karo. We were like, yeah, hमें तो खाने का कुछ पता नहीं है. Like, उस वक्त cafe culture बड़ा boom कर रहा था. Xander's, Espresso, there's all these fun cafe brands. And we said, नहीं, हम वो नहीं करते. We'll just do pastry and chocolate and gelato.
Yeah.
And that's what we did.
Then people started asking us कि भाई breakfast होना चाहिए क्या तुम्हारे साथ में espresso.
So once you have the outlet,
Yes.
then the use of that.
Yes.
So this is so typical entrepreneurial, right? You set up a place and you say you don't know exactly what is
क्या
going to
करना है,
happen,
बस करना है.
लेकिन that's the entrepreneur spirit.
But एक बात थी कि जब भी हम में से कोई travel करता था, कोई नई चीज़ लाता, जैसे मदिहा गई and she got me macaroon and she said, Ma, I want you to make this. अच्छा, लाइफ में मुझे हर चीज़ challenges बहुत अच्छे लगते हैं और मैंने वो उसको सीखने के लिए you will not believe पूरा साल लगाया. उसके लिए मैं सुबह फजर को भी उठी, मैंने लेट नाइट भी सीख किया, बट वो moisture
Maybe longer. I think it took 2 years.
नहीं 1 year तो complete लगा.
Just for the
French macaroon.
Wow. The recipe,
to perfect that, क्योंकि उसमें एक बहुत बारीक सी लाइन है, या वो क्रिस्प हो जाएगा which is cookie, या वो प्रॉपर मैक्रून होगा. पाकिस्तान में मैक्रून मैंने इंट्रोड्यूस किया अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह. एंड इट टुक मी टाइम, बट फिर जब मेरा बनना शुरू हुआ तो फिर मुझे पता चला कि इसका प्लेजर क्या है. बहुत सारी ऐसी चीज़ें थी. चॉकलेट में भी इसी तरह था कि हमने जब चॉकलेट बनानी शुरू की और छोटी सी एक मशीन थी उसके ऊपर करना शुरू किया, लेकिन वो हाथ से सारे उसके जो प्रोसीजर्स हैं उनको किया, तो जो भी चीज़ सही बनी उसका अपना एक मज़ा आता है कि अच्छा, yes, we can do it.
Just before because I want to take a deeper dive into this, the chocolate industry itself. But before we go there, I want to just dial back a bit. Both of you have mentioned about, you're having a baby and she was learning how to make chocolates. Yeah. The family bit, how was the support from your family, the men in your family, because generally in our society that sort of could come in the way of women going in this direction.
Sure.
So
no, I think I was very lucky. Mashallah, very supportive family. चाहे वो मेरे siblings हो, चाहे मेरे husband का था या उनके siblings थे, पूरी फैमिली की हमें सपोर्ट थी. मदिहा की भी शादी हो गई थी, इसके हस्बैंड भी तो हमारे घर के मर्दों ने हमें पूरी तरह सपोर्ट किया और हमारे जो फ्रेंड्स भी थे उन्होंने भी हमें बहुत अच्छे से सपोर्ट किया. सो वी वर वेरी लकी एंड वी आर लकी कि वी हैड वेरी गुड सपोर्ट, फैमिली सपोर्ट, फ्रेंड सपोर्ट. क्यों हमें मतलब हर लिहाज से.
I think that is absolutely critical. It's not critical, it just makes it all the more easier, right? When you already as an entrepreneur, इतने obstacles होते हैं, इतने unknowns होते हैं, both known and unknown. So when you have a supportive family behind you, it just makes it a bit easier. Yeah. I definitely know that there are lots of people for whom this is not easy. For us, it was actually really convenient. My chacha was very supportive, and my father had a joint family business, and my chacha was Dubai based, and all our ingredients were imported. All of our chocolate was imported. So having that base, his office in Dubai, really helped us because he would make payments on our behalf. Then we, so it gave us
So overall, the
credit.
whole family sort of
Yes.
ecosystem, cousins,
Yes,
chacha,
yes.
everybody sort of rallied behind you.
Absolutely,
Wow.
absolutely.
Yeah.
It was
and that's important.
Very
Yeah.
important.
That's important.
Yeah.
It's very important.
Okay.
अगर आपको पूरी फैमिली की सपोर्ट हो
Yeah.
और
Yeah.
what else?
Okay. So coming back to the business now, tell us something about what is the chocolate industry like? What is competition like? What's the technology? What is it all? What is the required besides Lal training and becoming that specialist in chocolate production?
देखिए ऐसा है कि मुझे तो ज़्यादा क्यों बिकॉज हम दोनों की टीम में इस तरह था कि हमने जब हम व्हेन वी स्टार्टेड आवर वर्क तो एक किस्म की हमने अपने लिए सेपरेट कर लिया था कि मदिया इज़ गोइंग टू लुक आफ्टर द बिजनेस मार्केटिंग एंड ये सारे पार्ट एंड आई एम गोइंग टू मेक अ गुड प्रोडक्ट बिकॉज फर्स्ट डे शी सेड व्हाई यू विल मेक अ गुड प्रोडक्ट आई विल सेल इट सो मैंने अपने आप को सारा जो कॉन्सेंट्रेट किया कि R&D करना कोई नया प्रोडक्ट डेवलप करके उसको मार्केट में मदिया के आगे एक टीम की तरह हमने काम किया सो मैं अपने बनाने में और उसकी रिसर्च में और इन चीज़ों में ज़्यादा अपना टाइम दिया और उसको मार्केट करने में मदिया ने दिया
he wants to know about like the chocolate industry. Look, in Pakistan, there's the way I would describe this industry is you've got your very large players that are doing mass market products. There are only two mass market players making real chocolate as far as I know, which is Ismail Industries, Candyland, and Mondelez Cadbury.
So the Cadbury, that's the mass market brand.
Yeah, right? Now, these are your mass market brands. They are making, a fairly decent chocolate, but obviously it's not artisanal, it's not handcrafted, it doesn't have the premium quality cacao or the added nuts and fruits and things that we do, right? In the high-end space, there's us and maybe there's a couple of others that come and go. What I have learned over the years is that Pakistan is a developing country, as a poor country, there's a small group of people that enjoy fine chocolate, but their appreciation of it is really grown, right? We were very, very niche 15 years ago. Now, mashallah, we're a bit bigger and there's greater acceptance. Like people who consumed Lindt, people who purchased Lindt, now they know they have Lal's as an alternative. And I think that mindset change has to do with, even up until 5 years ago, I think we all thought West is best, right? What comes from the West must be the best. I think things have changed a lot in the last few years post-COVID. Post-COVID, there was a real localization. People sort of realized कि यार imported चीजें तो मिल नहीं रही हैं. Let's go towards local. And they started doing that in every space, in beauty, in fashion, in food. And what we are really trying to do, and I don't know if Lal's is doing a good enough job of it, but what we're really trying to tell people is chocolate, like you said in the beginning, it doesn't need to be Swiss or Belgian. Okay, what is chocolate? Chocolate comes from the cocoa plant. The cocoa plant does not grow in Europe. Europeans took it to Europe,
Right.
mixed it with milk and sugar.
Yeah.
Milk, they may have cows and they have cows in Europe, obviously, but they don't even have sugar.
Yeah.
Sugar also comes
So
from
important.
the global south.
And
Okay?
cocoa, just to touch on, is mostly from Africa?
So cocoa grows all across the equator.
Equator.
Okay?
Okay.
It grows best like slightly north and slightly south of the equator, not in Pakistan,
Okay.
not in Europe, further south.
All right,
Right?
okay.
So African countries, Southeast Asian countries, South American countries, and sugar again is also a warm weather,
Right,
we have
right,
sugar in
yeah.
Pakistan. So the Europeans laying claim to being the best chocolate makers could have been true like 20 years ago, but not today. Today, good chocolate or good anything is made where it's made fresh. Now we, at our factory here in Karachi, we have chocolate machines that are basically the old school artisanal method of making chocolate. We take cocoa beans and we grind them over 72 hours, combining them with local sugar from Pakistan, milk from Pakistan, and milk chocolate is 36% cocoa and 64% milk and sugar.
Okay.
So actually it's 64% a Pakistani product.
Absolutely.
And I promise you, you do a blind test, you taste it and you taste a Lindt milk and you won't know which is better and which isn't. They're both very good.
Yeah.
So-
no, I absolutely love your chocolate. I mean, like I said.
This is my view on the chocolate landscape, and I think that globally there's a lot of chocolate players. Right now, we are in the midst of an insane crisis. There's crazy speculation going on in the cocoa industry. Don't know if you're aware of this, but cocoa prices for 30, 40 years were at $2,000 a ton, and today they're at like $10,000 a ton.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So we have had to protect our customers by reducing our price increases, but it's a really tough place to be in today.
Yeah, that would automatically comes to my mind that some sort of tinkering with
For sure.
with the formulation, the
Oh,
recipes.
no. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Globally, players, Hershey's will do that, and all your mass market people will do that. We're trying not to do that.
Okay.
Let's see. Never say never.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So, shifting a little bit from the business side to the management part, how did you actually start managing it and hiring the team, getting the right people, setting up processes? What sort of a team do you have now? How big is it? So I'd like to understand.
अच्छा
More on that.
जब हम लोगों ने जब स्टार्ट किया था तो हमारे पास सेल्स और मार्केटिंग डे वन से वी हैड मार्केटिंग टीम सो मार्केटिंग में 1-2 लोग थे और वी स्टार्टेड लाइक दैट
नहीं, डे वन से नहीं थे. डे वन से आपके पास सिर्फ 2 लोग थे. एक अकाउंटेंट था और एक सेल्स मैनेजर था और एक परचेसर था.
सोनिया ने
नहीं.
अच्छा who did you?
वो 6 साल बाद आई है.
अच्छा really
Yes.
okay so
The younger ones remember. Memory
तो क्योंकि वही का डिपार्टमेंट बन गया
बिल्कुल, बिल्कुल.
सो वी
शुरू
स्टार्टेड
में मैं खुद कर रही थी मार्केटिंग, फेसबुक एड सारी
So
चीजें.
she had you, right?
सही बात.
सो हम लोग जो सेल्स और उसमें था कर रहे थे और सबसे ज़्यादा फिक्र ये होती थी कि यार हमने उसको किस तरह बेचना है और क्या करना है. फिर आहिस्ता आहिस्ता जब वी स्टार्टेड मेकिंग आवर ओन चॉकलेट तो वो टाइम था कि फिर हमने अपने लिए लोगों को चूज़ किया, उनको ट्रेन किया बिकॉज देखिए यहाँ देयर इज नो culinary स्कूल ओवर हियर. सो जो भी आए थे वो बस मैट्रिक FA पास लड़के थे या कुछ उससे
I mean,
भी
there
10
are
गुजरे थे.
culinary schools. You don't think they're good enough?
No, Madhya.
They may not be good enough for Lals at least.
नहीं.
Kotham, Pitham, so many of them.
एक गवर्नमेंट का एक प्राइवेट है बिकॉज आजकल मैं उसमें वर्क कर रही हूँ. सो चॉकलेट ट्रेनिंग नहीं है. nobody knows what chocolate is. सीरियसली ये मैंने उसके ऊपर पूरी रिसर्च कर ली है. तो जब हमारे पास लोग आए और हमने उनको सिखाया तो शुरू की बात थी, बिल्कुल शुरू में जब हम अपने पास कहते कि आप मेक योर ओन चॉकलेट बार. तो जो हमारे इतना अच्छा वो लड़का था उसको मैंने कहा देखो ये टेम्पर चॉकलेट हो गई है तो ये मशीन में टेम्पर चॉकलेट है. तो उसको वर्ड टेम्पर वो समझा कि बस एक दफ़ा टेम्पर हो गई तो बस ये परमानेंट टेम्पर है, ज़रा सी मेल्ट हुई तो ख़त्म हो गया. बहुत सारा टाइम लगा लोगों को.
They have no idea what tempering means. You have to tell them.
So chocolate को जब we take a raw chocolate, we melt it to a certain temperature. फिर we cool it to a certain temperature and then it becomes the solid. That method for melting and cooling is called tempering.
Okay.
ठीक है. तो वो chocolate
And it's very critical to good chocolate.
Yeah.
If it loses its temper, it gets blotchy
So
and soft.
it can either become soft or too hard.
Yeah, weird.
जैसे आप लोग फ्रिज में रख देते उसके ऊपर white आ जाता है.
right.
That's the cocoa butter,
Right,
the
right.
fat of the
Right.
chocolate. So वो सब चीज़ें सिखाने में करने में it's not.
तो ये कैसे आपने जो आप ट्रेनिंग लेके आई थी, आपने नॉलेज एक्वायर की, फिर आपने टीम हायर की एंड यू इम्पार्टेड दिस ट्रेनिंग टू योर पीपल.
यस. नहीं मैं उसमें बहुत सारा टाइम स्पेंड करती हूँ आज भी. अभी भी मैं फैक्ट्री में हाफ डे में आई एम देयर. हालांकि जब हम लोगों ने फैक्ट्री सेटअप की सो आई ट्रेन माई टीम और वो बिल्कुल सही कर रहे हैं माशाल्लाह से. बट अगेन आई एम सिटिंग देयर, आई एम वर्किंग विद देम हैंड्स ऑन बिकॉज दैट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. एक तो आपकी टीम को भी कॉन्फिडेंस आता है एंड उनकी लर्निंग जहाँ इधर उधर हो जाती है इंसान है
But also, I mean, it's not been so smooth. Like, she would train people leave. You train chocolatiers because, like she said, there's no people coming to us with chocolate training, right? अगर आप कोई बिरयानी की दुकान खोलें तो बिरयानी बनाने वाले बहुत सारे मिल जाएंगे आपको. But chocolate बनाने वाले तो आपने उनको बनाना है, आपने उनको सिखाना है. And there have been numerous good chefs that she has trained who have then left either somewhere else in Pakistan or somewhere abroad, and then she has to retrain. And what I've learned, is that actually training and retraining has to be part of the process. Like
Yes.
every year she has to retrain the entire bakery on all her recipes, sometimes twice a year. And every year in the chocolate factory also she has to just keep training.
So it's like a pipeline that you have
Yes.
to keep at it, right?
Constant
Yes.
training. Constant training.
Yes.
हर चीज के लिए.
And we had a consultant, I love working with consultants also. We had this consultant and she's a hospitality trainer. And I remember Shireen telling me, and I was like, yeah, Shireen, लोगों को सिखाना इतना मुश्किल क्यों है? And she's like, this is globally in the hospitality industry. You just have to keep at it. You have to keep reminding people. You have to keep following up. You cannot rest. You cannot be like, अच्छा मैंने सिखा दिया है, now it'll work.
Because अभी तक मेरे पास अभी भी कोई भी इंसान जो ये मदिया ने जिक्र किया कलनरी स्कूल, उन कलनरी स्कूल से कोई मेरे पास नहीं आया. मैंने जो लोग पिक किए और मैंने उनको ट्रेन किया, चाहे वो पेस्ट्री है, चाहे वो ब्रेड है, चाहे वो बिस्किट है या चॉकलेट सेक्शंस है, जो डिफरेंट एरियाज़ हैं, तो वो ही लोग हैं जो कि बस ऐसे ही आए और उनको मैंने ट्रेन किया विद पैसेज ऑफ टाइम. ट्रेन
बिल्कुल fresh. Is there like
बिल्कुल
a
fresh, बिल्कुल.
qualification that you ask for, certification?
No, they should be
Metric or
educated and completely literate and able to read 6th grade comprehension.
Okay.
वो ज़रूरी है.
Because मतलब क्या हुआ था, वो कोई बंदे जिसने FA पास किया था but actually he couldn't read. What was it? He had a BA or something.
Yeah.
FA पास था, उसको फिजिक्स केमिस्ट्री का स्पेलिंग नहीं आती जो पास करके आया था.
Sad. That's
Yeah,
the
it is
situation
sad.
though.
Yeah, it's sad.
Okay. And that's the production and the factory and the technology side.
Yeah.
What about marketing? What about
So look,
sales?
on that side, I think building a team. When we started Lal's, it was her and me, and we had 3 other guys. Okay, an accountant, a purchaser, and a salesperson that I inherited. Right, and then they had been with her maybe like 2 months, 3 months before I walked in. Initially, it was just okay. I was doing the marketing, and I was working with freelancers. I remember very clearly, like early on, seeking out a great photographer, a great graphic designer. Okay, make us some brochures, because 15 years ago you were still making brochures, you were still doing things a bit differently. And yes, Facebook was very much the thing then. But as we grew, I felt, okay, we absolutely need to grow the team. We need another person in sales, because corporate sales for our chocolates as corporate gifts was a really high potential part of the business, and also something I really cared about. So then I started hiring for that. And we've had some really tough times with hiring. Like, we've hired people who were ghost employees. One guy was a ghost employee. Like, he was also working at PIA, like, oh my God. I remember that we used to call him Fraudia. We forgot his name, but एक Fraudia था हमारे पास, early employee. मुझे नाम भी उसका भूल गया. Then I hired a marketing manager. She is still with us today. She left in the middle, but then she came back. She's our head of marketing. We started with 5 people. Today we are at 95. Okay.
That's a total team?
Total team. Total team at Lal's is 95 people. Probably between 95 and 100, right?
Okay.
We had a few rough years. When COVID hit, we had 4 locations and 2 cafes. And we went from around 90 people down to 16 people. Okay.
You had to shut everything?
We had to shut everything. We didn't know what the future of our business was going to be. We didn't know.
Did you have an online at that time?
We had an online. We had a website, but we quickly realized that our website was old-fashioned and clunky, and we needed to rebuild it. And we spent like 6 months rebuilding the website. And then in 2021, we were like, okay, no, we need an even better website. And we rebuilt that website. And now the website is like a store. Like, it's continuous improvement. So
yeah, I've seen that. That's pretty good. In fact, I got on your email list also.
Okay, amazing.
So I know you guys are doing Father's Day on Sunday.
Yeah. I hope you get a present from
I
somebody.
told my children about it.
Good. You deserve a gift. Why not?
Okay.
So, I mean, we were at 90, we came down to 16. And then from 2020 now to 2024, right? We're at 24, yeah. We slowly climb back up, rehiring and building. And management and hiring is a constant struggle. It's not easy. Building a good culture, building discipline, building a caring team, and people who are connected. Like, for me, that is absolutely a very big challenge. Something I work on day in, day out. Like, I know, okay, I have a solid finance manager, an ops manager, production manager who works alongside her, and a head of marketing and a sales team. And so these are the core teams that I look at.
That's the org structure.
That's the org structure. But, we're partially remote. I'm living in Dubai right now because we just set up over there. And so I'm trying to be connected with everyone virtually. but because half the team is in the office and half is, it's a challenge. It's not easy.
Yeah, yeah. But on this side, on the commercial side, the people that you hire are local graduates. They're generally from.
Yeah.
And you also hire fresh people. You train them, or your
Oh.
preference is to get experience.
Look, on the technical, on the food side, we try and get people who have at least 1 year of experience. कि कहीं ना कहीं धक्का खाया हो, कहीं ना कहीं कुछ basic skills हो, then we train them on our way. On the sales and marketing side, we definitely want people with at least a couple of years of experience. In graphic design, which is very important to us because we're a design-based organization, we hire fresh from Indus Valley. We're okay because there's certain things I feel that you don't need to have worked, you just need that skill set, and then you come and we'll teach you the ways.
Right.
And we don't, it doesn't matter if you study from a foreign university or local university.
Do you lose people on this side of the business also, and do you lose them to competition?
Yeah, we lose people every now and then, of course, we do. And that sucks, right? Because we're still a very small company, so we build relationships and we get used to people. But then if something is like really that much better for a colleague of mine and I can't give them that, then okay, it's okay too.
So I would imagine as a CEO, this is a big challenge for you.
Yeah.
What else? And share a little bit of your own background, your academic training, and sort of how.
I went to high school in Karachi. I did school in Karachi. I went to university in North America, and I worked internships in the middle every summer. But really, my first job, and when I came back, I had absolutely zero desire to work with my mother. I was like, mad. Like, why would I work with my mother?
I've got to ask you about that in a bit.
I was like, Matlab ki, please, I'm not doing that. Anyway, and I was like, I want to be a lawyer, and I want to get in politics, and I want to, 100 things, right? When you're 22. I got a couple of job offers abroad, and I chose to come back, I can't remember why, but I chose to come back, and I was like, okay, while I'm in Pakistan, I'll work here for a year, and I'm going to apply to law school. And I applied to law schools, and I realized, oh God, this law school business is very boring. Like, I am not interested in reading documents forever, no. And she had just started Lal's, and I think she was like, oh, just, help out. And my brother was like, oh, just go there and help out and do stuff. And I didn't even know what to do. So I was like, help out? Like, okay, sure. And I'd gotten a job at Ernst & Young here. And I went there for like 2 days, and horribly unprofessional of me, I think now, because I took the offer, went there, and I think if a college graduate kid did this with Lal's today, I would hate them, okay? Went there for 2 days, and was like, actually, sorry, I'm leaving, I'm going to go join my mom and work with her for a bit. Okay, so bad behavior, but I did that, and started doing this. Also started another business at the same time with my brother and some friends. So kind of did two parallel things. That didn't work out as well. Stuck it out with this, and here we are.
Great.
And
in terms of disciplines, you consider yourself more to be a marketer, sales, finance. Where's your sort of?
I think sales and marketing, both of those are my jam.
Not finance.
Finance is something that I look at, but. Like, you see, I don't have infinite time. If I had infinite time and finance was the only thing I was doing, then sure, I'd do that. But when I have to prioritize, for Lal, sales and marketing it takes the priority for me. And then operations and finance, bichara, comes last.
Achha.
Yeah. As in, it's just something that I leave to the professionals who are doing it.
Okay. I'll come back to that also, recycle on that.
Yeah.
But you said something very interesting about the daughter working with the mother.
Yeah.
So how does this actually work? I mean, I can't imagine working with my mother, but how does it work? And what about disagreements and that relationship?
ऐसा है कि I don't know about मदिया के दिल पे क्या गुजरी होगी, but ये है कि when we started, हमारा एक ही रूम, एक ही ऑफिस था, या आमने सामने बैठते थे. शुरू में 1-2-4 दफ़ा इन्होंने कुछ जुमला ऐसा कहा, मदिया, how can you do that? How can you say that? सका माँ, we are working together. So ये होगा. And then I realized कि अगर हमने अच्छे रिलेशन रखने हैं, वक्त बदल गया है. थोड़ा सा ऊपर नीचे होता है, तो बस वो समझ गए कि ये ऐसा ही होगा, एंड अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह आई थिंक
I think that one is that she um, gave me a lot of space, a lot of room, okay, and yielded to my decisions. I think early on she decided that I was going to be CEO. Like that just happened, and initially I didn't even write CEO on my business card for a couple of years. I was like, I don't feel like I'm not, you know, I don't know enough right now to say that I'm like a co-founder, but I don't know if I'm at that management level, right? And eventually I just, you know, felt, okay, I can own this position today. So she let me take that position. Also, for many, many years, we were just so small and struggling and just, you know, chugging along that we didn't have these kinds of management issues or disagreements, right? It was just like, yeah, do whatever you can to make this thing work, right? It was a lot of entrepreneurial struggle for many, many years. And then I was having, like, I had a kid and then I had another kid. And so it was just a very busy period. And we shared an office for many, many years. And sometimes that was really difficult. Like, you know, I'm trying to work on something, somebody else walks in and is talking to her about something, but I'm hearing it. Now I have to put my nose in that topic, or vice versa. Somebody comes in to discuss something that does not concern her, but she has to give her input. I'm like, oh my God, right? Just
That's
stop.
like a physical space issue.
Huh. So this was just when the minute we could afford it, I was like, okay, we need some separation, you know?
Okay.
Like,
All right. Okay. Okay.
and
But difference तो होते होंगे,
बहुत
अभी भी
होते
होते
हैं,
हैं.
definitely होते हैं.
So if you have an opinion on
Yeah.
something which is very different from hers,
Yeah.
who wins?
डिपेंड करता है. अगर मुझे ये ट्रस्ट है कि मदिया का डिसीजन सही होगा, लेकिन अगर कोई चीज़ मुझे रियली करनी है तो फिर मैं उसको कहूँगी नहीं करना है.
So I think what will happen is, in most disagreements, I'll have to explain myself. You know, sometimes it'll be, why aren't we doing this? Why she'll say, ye kyun nahi ho raha? And I'll be like, listen, the teams are very busy. They are doing what they are doing. We're working along the schedule. अब ये last minute चीज़ अभी हम नहीं कर सकते हैं. So that's a general disagreement. She'll understand that. But then there are also times where I will yield to her. Like, there will be a complicated decision that I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Should we do this? Should we not do this? And then, you know, you want your mother's wisdom in that, right? Like, you want to know, what do you think, Ma? Should we do this or not?
Important words.
Right? And you know, like, wisdom that comes with age or experience or time or gut feeling, I don't know. But like, and I'll be like, what do you think? Sit with it and let me know what your thoughts are. And then in there, she'll really help me to be decisive. But sometimes she's horribly indecisive and I'll have to be like, we're doing this, which is, you know. So it's, I think, yeah, of course we have disagreements, but we resolve them.
Great to see that.
And also I think we have a very clear, okay, what's going on in the factory? I'm not watching every day
So
chocolate
lines are
making.
very clear.
Yeah, like she is running that. If the bakers mess up, I'm not going to go to the bakery and tell them what to do. I'm going to call her, right? And if something is off in marketing or sales or ops or finance, she'll call me.
Okay.
So that's how.
And I'm sure there would have been mistakes that were made. So anything glaring that sort of stands out.
Mistakes in life or mistakes
in the business. In the business.
Oh my God, so many.
Remember that Lahore वाला गाड़ी में पिघली हुई chocolate?
मतलब learning experience था.
Obviously, everything is a learning experience.
I mean, recently I was on a flight to Dubai and I met, what's the CEO of Bank Al-Falah? What's his name now?
Atif Majid.
Atif Majid. And so I met him and I was telling him that actually Bank Al-Falah was our first corporate, my first corporate sales attempt. And, you know, I went to this sales meeting and didn't realize कि Lahore की गर्मी में I had left all the chocolate in the trunk of the car from the airport to the sales meeting.
Oh.
And you know, so these are the mistakes you make, right? And you learn from them. And of course, we didn't get the order at that time.
That year only.
But I kept trying and eventually we did,
But
right?
nothing like sort of very serious, you know.
No, we have lots of serious mistakes. Lots of serious mistakes.
Anything that stands out in your memory?
Dekho, I think that everything is a learning experience, right? Like, do I have huge regrets? Like, no, I don't have huge regrets. But there are things that we have learned from. Like when we opened this big patisserie on Shabazz, everyone said, you should add a cafe to it. You should have food, you should be serving breakfast. And what we didn't realize is that food service is a different beast from chocolate and pastry. And we're like, okay, fine, let's do that. And now we created a hot kitchen, and then we hired chefs. Now, what I'm now learning, like Dubai, moving to Dubai and trying to set up a business there is teaching me this, right? What makes a successful entrepreneur in a developing country or in any place is when you have something that nobody else does. When you can fill a gap that nobody else can fill, right?
Absolutely.
She knows chocolate making. We know good design. We know how to package it together. There aren't very many people in Pakistan who know that. Okay.
Or have that combination. Yeah.
Or have that combination. Yeah. Okay. So that allows us to be successful. Okay. In Dubai, we have the same combination, but there are 50 other people who have the same combination. Thing. You can hire chocolatiers from all over the world. You can hire design teams from all over the world. And you can get all the capital in the world to go and do that there better. So there I'm learning that I need a different skill set to be successful. But we'll come to that later. Okay. We were talking about the cafe mistake. So now this is a success situation. The mistake that we made was we went into the cafe business. Now, I don't know the first thing about cooking well. She does not know the first thing about cooking hot food, right? And running a restaurant requires the first and foremost to make amazing food, to make the food that people are looking for, and then plate it well and serve it well. And there's a whole thing.
It's a completely different dimension.
Yeah. It's a completely different thing. People think that, it was cafe kholo, it's so easy. No, it's not. And we spent a lot of money, a lot of energy doing that, and then not realizing it took us, I think like 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 5 years to realize that we cannot do this. We kept doing it for 5 years. We kept at it, trying to make that cafe a success, and we were just bleeding money. Like everything we made in the chocolate and pastry, we lost in the cafe. And only when a global pandemic hit and the government said, restaurants that are indoor have to close.
That's when you shut it.
That's when we shut it and were forced to rethink our business. And I remember that day in March 2020, it was me, her, my ops manager, my head of marketing. We were like left with very few people, right? We were like running short of cash. We were not a highly profitable business. We were like mildly profitable, okay? And we were like, ab kya karenge? Like, how are we going to pay salaries and rent and all these things? And I'm sure all businesses had these questions. And we said, what do people really want from Lal's? Like, even in this pandemic, what is the thing that people would want from Lal's? And we thought, okay, but they want care packages. They want to make the person they can't visit feel better. And we just had like a few products, some cakes, some bread, some chocolate boxes, and everything else was just shed. Everything was shed. We rebuilt the business in 2020. And that's when we realized that our clarity of focus, clarity of vision is so important. Just do the thing you're really good at and the thing people really want from you. Everything else is a distraction.
And that becomes a competitive advantage.
Yes.
Rather than being all over the place.
100%.
Yeah. This is something that I try so much with these.
And even today I argue with my team. We still make gelato. We sell gelato. Ice cream is a very tricky business to be in over here. And so I'm always like, okay, yes, it's yummy, but do we need to do this? Like, should we not just be laser focused now on the thing we're very good at? So we're still learning, but that was a core mistake for us. Going into and trying to do something that we had no like real competitive advantage and skill set to do.
Okay.
And we thought, of course we can hire a good chef. No, you cannot.
No.
Yeah.
No, you cannot.
Yeah. So this basically, I think, sets us up very nicely to talk about the future. Because you've grown a business, you've built it, you've built a brand, you have made mistakes, you've learned from it, and now you've gone to Dubai. So tell us about that, and what are you thinking of next? What's the next move?
So for me, I love that question. What's next? Like, bhai, what I'm doing is enough. Why does there need to be a next? I'm already doing so much. Why do people ask me this question? What's next? You tell me what's next for you.
You won't want to know where I'm sitting in life.
So, look, there's a lot that we can do at Lal's. We are still yet to open a store in Islamabad. We really want to do that next. we also want to be in other cities in Punjab. Okay.
So domestic growth.
Domestic growth. There's a lot of domestic growth
We have
that
a store in Lahore.
You do have-
we have two
we have
stores
two
in
stores
Lahore.
in Lahore.
Right.
There's domestic growth. Dubai for me is a bit of a passion project. I was there last year. I'm part of an organization called EO, Entrepreneurs Organization. We have a forum, like a group of 6 business people that meet once a month, and we discussed in our last year. Our meeting was in Dubai. We were sitting and we were discussing, and my forum buddies were like, "Yeah, the chocolate is so good. Why can't you sell it here?" And we were sitting at the Address Dubai Mall Hotel, and I was like, "Guys, it's such a competitive market," and they were like, "No, you really can do it." And we just got talking, and I said, "You know what? I want to try this. I want to try this. I won't know." And I genuinely believe that our chocolate is as good as any of the global brands. And so I worked over the last 1 year, and it was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. And we launched there in March. It was a really, really good launch. We had a lot of people purchase, a lot of people try the product, love the product.
This is March 23.
No.
Oh,
Like
okay.
2 months ago,
Okay.
2 months ago. So we did that. We're purely online. We were purely online. 2 days ago, we got a store in Address Dubai Mall.
Oh, wow.
Like really fortuitously, the same location where I was sitting with my forum buddies and having that
Amazing. That's
conversation.
amazing, huh?
So there's a flower shop there, and within that we have like a
Is there a
display.
factory there? How do you supply?
No, we export from here.
Oh, from here
We're
it's
sending
exports.
everything
Oh,
from here.
okay.
Yeah. So we're doing that. I think my focus for the year is to make that profitable, to grow that because it's still very new. I'm yet to see. I think it's been a really good response, but the cost of doing business there is very high. Okay, this is a rude realization that, okay, it's an expensive city, but also business is expensive there. So that's something we're working on. Here within Pakistan, like I said, we want to do domestic growth. I think, the thing is, there's always, in every business, I'm sure there's challenges. It's a commodity-based business. Like I told you, cocoa prices are through the roof right now. So I'm genuinely concerned about what the next couple of years are going to look like for profitability, because we still want to retain our customers. We don't want to become so expensive that people switch to another product, right? So that is something. Then there's the country, right? There's just hoping that things improve in the country, really.
Yeah, and are you hopeful? Is that something that?
I mean, I'm always hopeful.
Yeah.
I'm always hopeful. I'm optimistic. Like, okay, things should improve. Will they improve? No, history tells us otherwise.
But we're here, so we have to be optimistic.
We're here. We have to be optimistic, and I think currency stability would really help. I don't know how to get that. And I think this regressive taxation, like now they're talking about increasing salary tax again.
Find out today, yeah.
Bloody ridiculous.
Yeah.
How can you do that? Because what is that doing? That's increasing the business's cost, right? Because everyone's like, hey, actually, I want a take home of this.
Yeah.
I can't guarantee your take home, you know?
Yeah.
Can't help your taxation.
Yeah. Okay, so there's the future. You talked about the growth in the domestic market. Hopefully, inshallah, that happens. And there's the export market. Ye bataएं, what about finance? How have you, I'm assuming this is a business which is started by family, money, and just like typical सारे entrepreneurs करते हैं, family, friends की investment होती है. Is there any thinking of raising money from the market? Is there an appetite for expansion? Are you looking at that? And that's why I said to you earlier that finance पे हम थोड़ा double click करेंगे.
Yeah. So I did have this sort of journey of fundraising. Like in 2018, 2019, this is before COVID, I felt like, okay, in order for us to really grow, I do need to raise funds. And, I went to KPMG and they were my investment advisors, and I met with different like family-owned sort of private funds and things like that. I felt like, okay, I want not only finance, I want not just money to grow, but I also want, I want to work with other people, right? I want an active investor, someone who takes a keen role in running the company with me. My kids were very small at the time. I was really struggling to manage the business and its growth and my family. So I did go down that road before, and a couple of times I almost sold like a decent chunk of the company. but then it didn't work out for whatever reason. And, I think everything happens for the best.
Fair enough, yeah.
Because then just things really changed. Now all our growth has been organic, right? Like funded from company finances. So we haven't really considered that. But yeah, I'm always open to it. It's just not something that is like top of mind right now.
Yeah. But I'd just imagine a major scale up would require some thoughts.
I think a
in
major
that.
scale up would require two things, right? It requires more money, but also better like management that
Capability.
is capability. Yeah.
Spot on.
Like I can't just throw more money and open 10 stores with the same team.
Yeah.
No, I need to build up their capacity and their capabilities
Absolutely.
and yeah.
Yeah, fascinating.
Yeah.
So I think we're almost at the end of our discussion. Any thoughts, ideas, advice for people who are looking to become entrepreneurs, females in particular, but generally?
बिल्कुल आसिफ, मैं हमेशा ही समझती हूँ कि हर कोई कुछ कर सकता है जो भी करना चाहे। आप अपना माइंड को उस चीज़ के लिए सेट करें और अपने वर्क ऑन योर माइंड एंड अपने आप को ये यकीन दिलाएं कि हम कर सकते हैं, और जो भी करना चाहें उसको पहले ट्रेनिंग ज़रूर करें। दैट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कि अगर आप ट्रेनिंग करके काम करते हो तो उसमें आपको तकलीफ़ कम होती है। लेकिन हर इंसान हर कुछ कर सकता है अगर उसका माइंड उस चीज़ को अपने आप को ट्यून कर ले कि येस वी कैन डू इट। तो मैं तो हर एक को एडवाइस करूँगी कि हर एक को कुछ ना कुछ करने का सोचना चाहिए, घर नहीं बैठना चाहिए बिल्कुल भी। एंड जिनके पास एजुकेशन है, उनके पास ट्रेनिंग है, व्हाई नॉट?
For me, I'd say that, just do the things you want to do. Like I read something recently and I really liked it. Planning isn't doing, and writing it down isn't doing it, and thinking about what you're going to do isn't doing it, and talking to people about what you're going to do isn't doing it. Just do it, right? Like if you need to make that sales call, pick up the phone and make that sales call. If you need to send a pitch to somebody, don't wait until it's perfect. Just send it and improve on it. So my advice would just be like, just be a doer, just keep doing, and things will open up. I think it's possible or feasible for women to both be managing their homes and their families and their kids and running businesses. This is something I don't know if men understand or not, but like a real paradigm shift is sort of needed, where if both parents are working full time, right, who the hell is running the house? Who is managing the kids? Like it's, so, okay, then maybe you have a great like a grandparent or a mother-in-law or somebody who is really involved. The paradigm needs to shift towards, in order for women to become successful, right? Like something has to close that gap in the home then. So maybe the men need to be available more. Like for me to do what I do wouldn't be possible if my husband wasn't so involved with the kids, right? Like if I'm out, I know, okay, he can supervise the play date, and if he's out, then I'm home. Like
I'm assuming your husband is also an entrepreneur?
No, my husband is an equity investor.
Is he employed?
He is not. He is
So he works for
self-employed.
himself,
He
right?
works for himself.
That helps.
Of course. So what I'm saying is, it's not so simple as, all the women need to be in the workforce. Actually, I don't know. I used to think like this 10 years ago, but now I think, oh my God, this is a capitalist trap. Like we are all falling into a capitalist trap that all the women work, all the men work, everybody's consuming for what? For what? Like, let's all take it back a notch. Yes, let's all treat each other sort of as equals with different, skill sets. And there are going to be times in your life where you will be able to contribute to the economy, and there'll be times where you won't.
And you're contributing in other ways.
And that's equally valuable.
Some things that we think now in the modern capitalist world that's not that valuable, but it is.
It
that's what you're
is.
saying. And coming from you, Madhya, that's a really powerful statement.
Yeah,
comment.
like, 10 years ago, if you talk to me about my friends who are not working, I'd be like, what are they doing with their lives? Like, you went to an Ivy League university and you're sitting at home, like you're married and you have a kid or two and you're not doing anything. But now I just don't think like that. I'm like, hey, good for you. If you don't need to, then maybe somebody else who needs the job is doing the job.
Absolutely.
And we don't need to build this consumerist
The value addition
economy.
is still there. It's massive.
Yes.
I think that's something that our society needs to accept also. So, yeah.
And same for men. I feel like men in our society, it's too much burden on them to be earning. Men don't feel valued if they're not earning. And that's hard, man. That's got to be hard.
Yeah.
I can't even understand how that feels. So anyway, so many thoughts. Things are changing.
I mean, it's a separate conversation, but I'd love to pick your brains on that. For me, a younger person thinking like this, is unique.
Yeah.
So you are that unique.
I think it's okay to not work. I think it's okay to not be a human doing.
Yeah.
But we can just be
Not a project.
I mean, I'm just wired, okay? Like, we are just wired to just do. Okay, like, so I don't know if I know any other way.
Yeah.
But to somebody 15 years junior, someone who's like 20 and just getting out of college, I'd be like, hey, it's okay to just be also.
I say Gen Z probably is going in that direction. I keep hearing.
Yeah, but then you also don't want your kids to become complete bums and do
that's
nothing.
true.
So it's a real tricky one, man. Don't be a bum, right? Don't do nothing. Add value to society in some way.
And it's not just about money. It's all, तो हमारा कुछ हो गया था. It's all about you monetize everything.
This, right? We derive success. We derive that thing. These people are successful because they're earning a lot. I don't want to change that. That's just the capitalist culture. It's all just earn more. I think. I also think that this post October 7th, I think a lot of things have shifted, right? I think people are becoming more woke. People are realizing more and more that Western capitalism is actually, I think, is spoiling us. And we were blinded in a sense.
It's a way of life, but not the only way.
It's not the only way of life. Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's really good to hear your thoughts on this. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. This is Lal Majid. Madhya, thank you so much for being here. It's been fascinating, the conversation, and I am actually truly inspired.
Thank you.
I think women like yourselves set the scene for this country, for the society, to learn from and get inspired by, and actually do much more than what they're doing currently, and actually think about what are the possibilities out there. Thank you so much for doing this, and really pleasure to connect.
Thank you.
Thank you.